In this video, we're going to talk about maybe the most important part of the audio mixing process altogether. And that's the 4 major stages that you need to completely separate yourself from your mix. You've worked hard on it up until now, you've spent a ton of time, but now it's time to get some fresh perspective, clear your head, and get outside. Hey guys, it's Steve from Featherlightstudio, and in this episode we're actually doing something a little different. We're talking about taking a break. We just finished 2 really long record projects, both over a year apiece, and in the end they actually overlapped from one another. And that was a lot of really tedious and detailed work, and it really emphasized just how important it was to take a break during really key stages of the project. So in this video we're going to go over really the main key parts of a mix that you really need to take a break when you're finished with, so you can come back with fresh ears and really see the project anew again and really hear it from a completely fresh perspective. So we're here actually on a scooter today, and we're enjoying our town that we live in here in my hometown of Bend, Oregon. It's just a gorgeous place to get out and get a change of perspective and really experience the town that we live in. The first and probably the most important stage of all by far is the drums and bass submix. If you have a tight submix between the bass and drums, whether it be EDM or rock or pop or metal or whatever, then everything else you do in the project after that will be built on a strong foundation. If you can get the drums and bass to work together, then everything else that comes after it will be so much easier. So, first stage, drums and bass submix. The next most important stage that you absolutely have to take a break from is all your bed tracks, and specifically guitar tracks. If you're working in rock or pop or metal or any of those kinds of genres, guitar, especially guitars panned hard left and right as bed tracks and lead tracks, can really be fatiguing on your ears. And if you're doing a lot of miking of cabinets and that kind of stuff, your ears wear out really quickly. So this is one of the stages where you really want to make sure you take a bit of a break in between, step back, get some perspective, and then come back completely with fresh ears. The next most important stage is the beginning of all your lead track stages. You've already got all your bed tracks completed and you're starting on your lead tracks, whether they be vocals or if you're doing an instrumental and it's just lead, like lead guitar, or an instrument like a saxophone. Your perception about doing lead tracks changes radically from when you're doing bed tracks. Give yourself a day or two, step back from things, and let your ears and your head completely clear up. And then come back with completely fresh ears and start working on all your lead tracks. And the last stage, by far the most important, is the final mix stage. This is where the culmination of all your work and efforts is going to really pay off. And this is also where you need the most amount of perspective by far. So step back and give yourself plenty of time. Give yourself several days if you have them.
There's a party coming to town. It's rich with blood and conversation.
To let your ears completely reset and have a completely fresh perspective on all the work that you've done so far. Your ears need to completely readjust so that when you come back you hear the song kind of new. And that's important, not just for the arrangement choices and artistic choices you've made along the way, but for the tonal choices you've made along the way as well. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. If you learned something or if this is helpful in any way, please hit the subscription and notification bells. It really does help keep the channel going. And thanks for coming on along, getting out to see my town. Just a kind of a friendly reminder for you guys to do the same. Get out and see the town that you live in.